Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you today. In my very first suit I ever bought, I'm going to talk to you about England, specifically the Port of Southampton. So recently I was in England visiting my lovely mother, and I left a couple of days early to go do a little tour around Southampton and get some video of the port, just for you if you ever go down there, to give you an understanding. Now, what I also did, because I would imagine the vast majority of people that go to Southampton are actually going to go to London first, have a look around London, and then go down to Southampton. So I'm going to show you how you would get to the Port of Southampton from London. I'll show you a little snippet on the underground, the subway as you call it over here, the underground, or the tube as we call it over there, and then getting on the train from Waterloo down to Southampton, and then getting from the station at Southampton down to the port. And also, if you've got the bus from Heathrow directly down there, I'll show you where the bus station is in Southampton in relation to the port as well. It's all really, really well located, very easy, very simple, but you always don't need to watch this video, it's that simple, but familiarize yourself with it, that's what I say. And a little snippet of the town centre, which is right next to the port. So a really nice town to go visit. It's one of my favourite towns in all of England. Usually get decent weather. And it's nice and clean, and it's a nice town. I think you'll enjoy it. A lot of ships go from Dover. I know this is purely for Southampton. Did not get over to Dover, but yeah, have a look, see what you think. A little trip with me from London to Southampton.
All right, we're going to take you, as I said, from London to Southampton. I am currently at a station called Liverpool Street, which is where I started my journey from after leaving my mother's house. There's your trains coming in. Make sure you're on the right train, and I'll give you some tips on that in a second on how to do it. This particular line is called the Circle Line, so I know I'm getting on the right train. I am going from Liverpool Street to Embankment down to Waterloo, where the train is going to go to Southampton. Big open train, as you'll see, no doors between the carriages, plenty of room for bags and stuff. On the sides there, you'll see that they actually have maps of the route you're going on. To make sure you're on the right train, it's a good idea to make sure that, for example, if you're going from one station and you know it's 5 ahead, that the next one is the correct one in order, that you're not going the wrong way. So right there, Cannon Street, Mansion House, Blackfriars, Temple, Embankment, make sure they are the stations you stop at. I'm going to get off at Embankment and head down to Waterloo. So here we are at Embankment. I'm getting off the train and there are signs everywhere. I know I need to get on the Northern Line southbound. So there's going to be signs everywhere. Here you go, Bakerloo Line, Northern Line. I'm going to follow this. One thing to bear in mind, elevators are hard to find. If you have a lot of bags, be aware. Follow these signs. I'm keeping going to southbound. There can be a decent walk between the different lines. So here we are, Embankment, Waterloo. It's only one stop. I'm going to go down these stairs, get on the train. You'll see this train is a little bit more crowded than the other one. There are doors between the carriages, so it's not so open. If you have a lot of bags, it might be difficult. I'm off the train now. We're heading up to the Waterloo station. But just so you know, sometimes you'll see a southbound, northbound side. Make sure you get on the right one is the biggest tip I'll give you. But right now I'm heading out. So there's the trains. That red sign was the British Rail sign. That's the sign you want to follow when you're looking for the main overground train station, not the underground. So now I'm at the top of the stairs. There's another map. There's signs everywhere showing you. I want the way out trains. Again, that red sign is what I'm looking for. That's the trains, not the underground. Look, they have these everywhere. If you have a lot of bags, again, this can be a problem. Elevators can be hard to find. Escalators, not so much. But you saw how steep that escalator was. It's pretty typical of the underground. Now we're going to make our way out into the main Waterloo station, which will be our main station to get down to Southampton. I will tell you, if you're going from Gatwick, the trains are a lot smaller. The train I got coming down to Southampton from here was a good-sized train, plenty of room for luggage. On the way back, if you come back from Southampton straight to Gatwick to fly, for example, be warned. Much smaller trains, they stop everywhere, and you cannot even put the bags over your head on a lot of those trains. So something to be very aware of. If you're coming from Waterloo, bigger trains, faster trains, more overhead space. I learned that myself. Now we're heading out into the main Waterloo terminal, and on the wall there are all the trains and all the times they're leaving, and it'll tell you what platform they're leaving from. So make sure you see your train, make sure you get your platform, and head down to the appropriate train and get on it, and it will make you on your way to Southampton. From London on this one, there's like 4 stops. Coming back from Southampton Gatwick, there was like 20 stops. Just putting it in perspective. There are a couple of different types of listings for the train, so that's a bit clearer than the other one. So basically, I got on my train, I headed down to Southampton, and now I'm going to show you what happens when I got out of the train at Southampton, because it's very close to the port and very easy to do. All right, so I'm off the train in Southampton now. There's signs, cruise ships, taxis, buses, etc., etc. We're going to get off the train, head down this way, and make your way out to the right. Make sure you have your tickets. Your tickets get you through these exits. You need them. We're outside the station now. If you headed up there and turn right, that's one way to get to the port. But what I found the better way is if you take a right and walk up there, those hotels you just saw there, we're looking back at the station right now. As we pan around, there's a couple of hotels ahead. If you're at the Ibis or the Novotel, that is them there, those browner buildings right there. But we're going to walk up this pathway I'm looking at right now. And now I'm at the top of that pathway because I'm putting some perspectives. Again, there's the front of the station. There's the Ibis and the Novotel. We're going to walk straight down that street. You see in the distance, there's cars. You take a left there, and it's about a mile, and you'll be right at the hotels and the port area. If you get the bus, this is about halfway down that road, slightly off to the side. This is where the bus would come if you came from Heathrow on the bus coach, not the train. There's an IKEA ahead. You just head down to that IKEA and take a left, and it's going to lead you right to the main hotels in the port and the port area. There's your National Express bus. So it really isn't very far, and it's a very easy trip. You can always get a taxi, of course, right outside the station, but if you just want to stretch your legs, it's not very far. 15, 20-minute walk, and you'll be right where all the action is. So I'm just walking you down to show you some of the ways. On the left-hand side there's a big shopping mall with a theater in there, movie theater, and all sorts of restaurants. And the main town is to the left of this, where we are. But I'm just showing you the walkway coming down. This would be from the Greyhound station. If you came from the train, I'll show you that in a second. And look what we came across. Carnival UK was right there. Right ahead there, that white building is the Holiday Inn. And the one across the street, right there, that's the Leonardo Royale. They're right opposite each other. And we're going to pan back here. There is Carnival UK. That's the Moxie on the right. And that road to the left of Carnival UK, that's where you would follow all the way down. And you get to the light that I showed you. Take a right and head right up to the station. It's really easy to get to. And the port is pretty much straight ahead of us here. So once again, there's the Leonardo Royale. There's the Moxie. There's Carnival UK. And there's the Holiday Inn. They're like the 3 main ones that I saw. Again, the Novotel and the Ibis were closer to the station, but none of them would be terrible or perfectly fine. I stayed at the Holiday Inn. But you come out of there and you walk this way. There's the Holiday Inn to put it in perspective, and the Leonardo Royale again. And you're just going to keep walking down this street, and you're going to end up at the port. Again, you could absolutely take a taxi, but it's not a very long walk at all. You're right in the middle of everything, and the town centre is basically to the left of all these buildings. So you're real close to everything here. It's a nice port. It's a beautiful city. It's one of my favourite cities in all of England. But there's a place called Mayflower Park you could go hang out in. That's immediately to the right. But you just keep walking down here. That's actually an Indian restaurant on the right there, and there's an entrance to a ferry company that will take you to a place called the Isle of Wight. If you were in a couple of days early and you wanted to go do a day trip, you can pop in there. And we're just looking back because I'm keeping walking forward. I'm just panning back. On the opposite side of the street, there's some nice bars and restaurants right there, but we're just going to keep walking down. There's actually a Starbucks on the right-hand side there. Now we're looking back towards where that Isle of Wight ferry was. We just keep walking down. I'm just giving you a perspective of the distance. We're just going to walk up here a little bit further. And very soon we're going to actually see the port that you want to be in when you cruise. Typically, it's the same one Carnival uses all the time as I understand it. And after that, I'll show you a couple of quick snippets of the town. You see right ahead there. On the right-hand side, ahead of you there, you can kind of see the dome of the building. That's where you are heading to leave on your cruise. Probably a maximum 10-minute walk from the Holiday Inn is where we're at right now. So you basically just come out. There's kind of only one road you can walk down. You just follow it until you hit it. And we're heading over there. There is the main entrance. This is where you are going to go to get on the ship. Now, I did notice no public access. When there's no ship in port, you can't get in here. But this is where you are going to go on any other day. We are going to the Ocean Cruise Terminal. That is where your ship is going to go from on Carnival. The QE2 goes from Dock 4. So you're going to go a little bit further down to get to that. But there's maps everywhere, as you can see here. We're just following ourselves down on the right-hand side of that map. Kind of middle now is where the Holiday Inn was. So you can see it's a really easy road to walk around, and maps everywhere. And all underneath here is all the main town center area where you can go at night for bars, restaurants, and all sorts of fun and activities. I'm going to show you a couple of snippets of that right now. This was a little area I found which is pretty cool. A lot of... There's a Japanese restaurant, there was an Indian restaurant, there was a Persian restaurant, there was a German restaurant, there was an Argentinian restaurant, all sorts of restaurants right in a row. And this is right next to the port area. You can't really miss it when you come out. Some kind of cool little areas you can walk into in town and get some nice pictures. A lot of people are also asking about the Titanic Museum. This is at the top of the main shopping center. So if you walk into town and just walk through the shops, and I'll show you a landmark to look for in a second. It'll be about a 10-minute walk once you get into the town, and that will lead you right to the Titanic Museum. There's the entrance to it, and you'll see up above there's like a church, a clock tower, and that is the landmark you're going to look for. There's a main civic center which is off to the right. I'm going to show you in a second. There's the BBC. That's what you look for. This is the top of the main town center area. You'll look for that. There's a tower in the back. That's where the Titanic Museum is. And there's your train on the way back. Quick look at Southampton.
All right, there you go. A little look at Southampton and the port in England. Nice little city. I promise you'll have a good time. Hotel-wise, I mean, now I should backtrack a little bit. The main reason I did this and added this on the end of my trip was I was supposed to be on the Jubilee inaugural, and we actually had a big room block in that Holiday Inn. And so I told everybody going on there on the Facebook page that I was going to go and take a video, so they can have an expectation of what happens when they get there. And then the cruise got cancelled. But I booked a non-refundable hotel rate and a non-refundable train ticket, so I was like, may as well good to go. And I'm glad I did, because it's a nice little city. And I got a nice little Indian dinner, took it back to my hotel and ate that, and yeah, that was very nice. So I do like Southampton a lot, like I said, and hopefully if you go to London, it gives you a little insight into what to expect when you get there. Very easy port to get around, very easy to get there from the train station or the bus. What more can you say, really? Just also, I should add, I do have another video out if you want to see about getting around London. I just showed you getting from the tube to the train to Southampton, but I have another video out there that I will try and remember to put in the links on getting, when you get to Heathrow or Gatwick, on getting into London and getting to Southampton and stuff like that, which again, I did for that cruise, but hopefully it will help you, give you some ideas and tips. And with that, subscribe if you'd like to. Send me any questions. If you like the video, like the video. If you don't like it, just ignore it. Don't like hate mail. Constructive criticism is always fine, but when it's ignorance. Somebody told me the other day, well, I won't tell you what they told me, but they basically tried to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about England one time, and I'm like, So I gave them a few questions and they couldn't answer any of them. What can I say? So we'll leave that one there. But if you want to send me the questions, my email is coming up. Send me your tips and traditions for my weekly video, and I will see you later, Cruising World.
Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.